Hey everyone, welcome to another AI conversation. I'm happy to be joined today with a co-faculty of mine, colleague, Professor Elmer Peramo, who I'm sure is very famous. Pero Prof.
No.
Elmer, for the one or two people na hindi ka pa kilala, maybe give a brief background of yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Doc Ligot, for inviting me to your podcast, yung AI conversation. No, actually, matagal na natin itong pinag-uusapan. We've been discussing this for quite some time, even before the pandemic. You've been meaning to invite me to for an interview, and then fortunately, natuloy din. No, I'm Elmer Peramo. I wear many hats nowadays, but yeah, siguro yung main job ko is I work for the government under the Department of Science and Technology, Advanced Science and Technology Institute, or ASTI. No, from here on out, I'm just going to refer to it as ASTI. I am a senior science research specialist there. Most of the projects that I am involved in, so about AI or application of AI. So there's AI in weather forecasting, there's AI in natural language processing, and there's also AI in computer vision. So yun yung mga three projects that I currently involved in, and we're really promoting those projects. Later on, I'll share some slides about those projects. And yeah, you mentioned na co-faculty. Actually, just to share siguro, no. If I remember right, parang 2018, I was looking for a part-time job, and then I saw your posting sa Facebook sa Cyrolytics. So I sent you my resume, and then you siguro ano lang, you recommended me to be part of the faculty of the University of Asia and the Pacific, and then the
Bilis.
rest is history. Yes, the rest is history. Nowadays, yun yung aside from that, what else? Yeah, I also do AI consulting on the side.
Tama. There's not enough of AI practitioners nga eh. We were talking earlier, no, na the few of them who are in the academia are busy with research, which is good.
Mhm.
Pero as I said, the reason why I booted up this channel is to provide a way for people to share and communicate. So kaya sabi ko nga, don't be surprised if people reach out. So sige, I know you have a couple of projects, pero maybe if we can spend a few minutes on your own journey, no? Because I'm so sure there's a lot of aspiring scientists, and you're a legit scientist doing scientific work. How did how did you get to this point, if in a nutshell, no, when you were starting out, no? What were the career options that you took? And then si ASTI as a department of DOSTs, uh how easy is it to get into ASTI, yung mga ganyang bagay, no? Maybe you could share a bit.
Yeah. Before I make kwento about my history, no. Congratulations pala for this parang advocacy mo na you've been interviewing a lot of AI practitioners na. So I'm actually following your social media post, no. Sige. Before kasi I was born and raised in Olongapo City, tapos I work as a parang supervisor in a publishing company there. And then I moved to Quezon City, to near UP Diliman, no. And then what happened was I was looking for a job. Nung time na yun, uso pa yung mga call center. So I also work as before, no, used to be call center agent, technical support representative sa isang call center dyan sa Quezon City,
So
near
you
UP
you
Diliman.
started in a BPO, or relatively one of your early jobs was a BPO.
Yeah, but before that, in a parang a US owned free press or desktop publishing company, something like that. So before a book is being published, we do copy reading or pre-press or the desktop publication, the layouting using Adobe InDesign and Quark Express, those things.
Quark
So
Express, oh my God.
you know Quark Express?
Oh yeah, ano yan, competitor ni Corel Draw at saka ni
Yeah, yeah.
PageMaker. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love
Okay.
those. Okay.
Anyway, that was a long time ago. Anyway, then I saw an advertisement on a newspaper, Flash developer, from
Flash.
ASTI. I didn't know about ASTI back then. So I didn't know that it's a government agency under the OST. So I applied, then I got in, and then I started as a project staff in Advanced Science and Technology Institute. So doing Flash development for a courseware, math and science courseware. So we develop those interactives, and but during those time, Flash was very big pa, no? Kasi kaya lang, you know what happened nga, di
Adobe
ba?
yan, di ba? Adobe, yung
Adobe
Flash.
Flash, yeah,
Okay.
animation. So
Mm.
we program in animation. And then I was lucky. Okay, with regards to the competitiveness of getting in ASTI, I would say it's very competitive. I just got lucky because during that time, parang pinatawag ako. I was asked by my supervisor during that time if I wanted to work as a regular employee, because I'm not sure if this is true, no, pero in hindsight parang naisip ko, kasi during that time lumabas yung result ng civil service, and I was parang na-publish yung name ko sa newspaper na nasa top 10 ako sa civil service, and then siguro the management took notice, and then okay, parang then I was asked if I wanted to be part of the permanent position, yung plantilla position. And ayun, after that, ayun, dami ng mga opportunities. I was given the opportunity to finish my graduate studies, in masters in UP Diliman, as kasi my undergrad was computer science.
Mhm.
But before that, no, siguro trivia din, UPLB ako dati, applied math. UPLB applied math, I wasn't able to finish that.
You shifted
So
out of math to comp sci.
yeah,
Ganun.
I was actually dismissed, you know,
Mhm.
because of academic performance. Pero
Okay.
yeah, oo. Good. During that time. And then eventually, nag-school hopping ako. I even took accounting pa nga. Even, yeah, maraming mga ano. Eventually, I graduated computer
Comp sci.
science, top
Wow.
sci. And
So
then I got into,
not only were you a career shifter, you were actually a course shifter. Nakailang ka rin.
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
fantastic. Oh.
Yeah, and then after I graduate from UP Diliman to Masters of Engineering in Electrical Engineering, na parang nauso na noon, parang 2016 nag-start na ang mag-boom, or nagsisimula na mag-bud yung news about data science. So there was this parang symposium or webinar in National Institute of Physics in UP Diliman. Ang kanilang guest speaker, Stephanie C. and Doc Reyna Reyes. So
Wow,
hindi ko
okay.
pa kilala yung mga, okay, and then attended. So
Anong year to? What year
introduction,
was this?
2016,
16. Okay.
2015, yeah,
Oh.
yeah, ganon. So Dr. Reyna Reyes, so doon ako na-introduce sa data science. And then marami, alam mo, uso sa Makati and sa BGC yung mga meetups like yung Data Science Philippines and our users group. So kahit na taga Quezon City ako, talagang personal cost ko, nagta-travel ako just to attend meetups. Ganun ako ka-enthusiastic before sa data science. And then, ayun nga, na-apply ko nga. And then, DOST started doing some capacity building efforts to really parang they invited a lot of researchers, even graduate students for this AI thing. Tapos, di ba meron pa? I remember you invited me to be one of the lecturers dun sa project. Like,
Mhm.
what was that project with AAP and
DAP,
DAP?
yung Sparta.
Sparta, yeah.
Mm.
Sparta, yeah. Yan. So, featured was, yun nga, meron na silang AI roadmap kung paano they started those capacity building efforts, no, for data science and AI. I took part of several of those offerings. So that's why, ayan, aside from taking courses during my graduate studies, tapos attending a lot of meetups, so yun, doon ako na interested sa AI, and then eventually yung mga dumadating na opportunities project sa ASCII is more on AI. So I was involved na doon sa project. Hindi siya binibigay sa akin, pero gano'n. So that's it.
Okay, that's fantastic kasi in a way you bridge the emergence of data science. Yun yung from 2014 to maybe 2017, yun yung ano, 'di ba? Yun yung hot. And then after that, we did the MABA 2018,
Yeah.
launched that. Then ngayon AI na yung shift, no? So, but you've
Mm-mm.
been doing AI prior to that. Um,
Mm.
can you just share briefly, tas alam ko you've got some projects to show us. How did you find, kumbaga, what first interested you with AI and how did you go about it?
Siguro the math. The mathematics in AI. Usually
Mm.
kapag yun yung ano, kasi yun applied math tapos I really have this passion doon sa beauty of of mathematics, and lalo na kung na-apply ko siya. Ang dami kasing mga patterns and how do you say it? Na-appreciate ko yung mga different equations doon and how they apply to how they're being applied to yung mga for
Mm.
practical application mga use cases ng mathematics no. Okay. Minsan na I'm just really amazed that a lot of parang Ah, nag-a-align kasi yung kumbaga, ang dami ko na realization, kumbaga, or insights doon sa mathematics behind AI. Siguro yun yung isa. Honestly, I'm a better doon sa AI kasi it requires programming and mathematics, no? And also other skills, no? Pero I'm more of a math person than a programmer. I
Right.
would admit that. Pag nagpo-program ako, usually nag-Google, nag-Google nga, may
Copy
chat
paste
GPT
na lang
na eh.
kung ano yung meron
Copy
diyan.
paste, basta naiintindihan ko yung code. Yeah.
Oo.
So siguro yun yung yung math behind AI.
Yeah, I had another mathematician in the conversation. Forgot his name. He's a Russian name, eh. Kopalkov, Dr. Kopalkov, and he was actually talking about how math wasn't a rewarding field. Kasi he's speaking from experience.
Yeah.
He was in the academia for years, no, as a mathematician. So now he's running a startup where nagagamit daw yung kanyang mathematics. So in your case, I guess when you started in math, nag-shift ka rin to comsci. Pero math naman talaga yung true love mo. So can
Yeah.
you I just want to, kasi this is a rare event, when we have some mathematicians in the conversation. Can you share kind of your medyo some, no, we did have Guido David pala recently, mathematician.
Yeah.
I mean, share your perspective on, as a mathematician, how do you see these parang itong mga recent phenomena with AI and the Gen AI thing, which is all just mga underlying mathematics din siya.
Mm-mm.
When you first heard about it, baka nga you knew about it earlier kasi itong mga large language models are not necessarily new inventions naman. They're just
Mm-mm.
ngayon lang
Yes.
sumikat. How do you perceive them as a mathematician, and how in terms of how they're performing and how powerful they seem to be?
Actually, I was think may bagong labas na technology ngayon. Ewan ko kung narinig mo na yung Sora, yung kalalabas lang actually.
Text to
Yung sikat,
video. Galing nga eh.
yeah, text to video Sora. Meron yun yung mga ganun Sora. Then nagbo-browse ako kanina, and then meron yung LoRa, yung LoRa adaptation.
Mhm.
So nakikita ko doon yung okay, ito yung mga ito yung mga essence of linear algebra ba na nagiging kumbaga nagiging they're trying to yung realization ko kanina kasi is more like yung mga recent breakthroughs, ang ginagawa ng mga research ngayon is they're trying to be like, for example, the fastest, or they're
Right.
trying to build the largest language models with trillions of parameters,
Parameters.
or they're trying to make the smallest chip, for example, yung mga extremes,
Mm.
no? Pero I see that na meron tong there's parang mga drawbacks nito, like for example, uh, as you go as you really try to pursue yung those endeavor, no, meron siyang, let's say, it's very taxing to, for example, to the environment because it uses a lot of energy,
Yeah.
no. So yung nakikita ko na like for example, when I ask when I was in the US kasi I was fortunate enough to visit yung ORNL, o yung Oak Ridge National Laboratory, where the fastest supercomputer in the world is housed, yung Frontier.
Mhm.
So then I asked them what's next, kasi sila din yung yung Summit, yung predecessor nung fastest, ngayon pang fifth na lang yun. You have Fugaku in Japan and so on. Tapos and then I asked them, what's next? Tapos sabi nila, hindi na daw sila, kasi parang nangyayari, pataasan ng ihi yung China and US, ganyan, pagdating sa technology in terms of AI or supercomputing. So sabi nung hindi na, we're not gonna try na mas mabilis pa. Pero ang gagawin nila yung pinaka-efficient and pinaka-green, no? Yung pinaka-environment friendly. So yun yung and then yung siguro just to answer yung question ng ano kinalaman ng math doon. Like for example, yung essence ng linear algebra. So basically kasi yung nagpa-power sa AI ngayon is neural network, no? Like yung a lot of transformer is a neural network. And neural networks basically just matrix multiplication. It involves a lot of matrix
Big
multiplication.
matrix, yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, yung sa, like for example, sa LoRa, they're trying to make it more efficient kasi yung mga matrices na yon, some of them are kumbaga, a lot of them are linearly dependent to each other. So pwede mo siyang using a low rank representation of that matrix, parang ganun. So yun yung siguro yung mga some of the parang essence ng mathematics in the application of AI. Yun yung isa sa mga naiisip ko. I'm sure marami pang iba.
Yeah. Actually, the emergence of the transformer itself, which came out, hindi nga siya bago 2017 pa yata yan or earlier, was a major deal eh. Pero for me ang nakita ko, and let me know if this resonates with you, suddenly we have an architecture, a mathematical architecture, that allows us to, with a relatively finite set of parameters, kahit billions pa yan, which is the attention mechanism.
Mechanism.
Somehow you're able to simulate basically the entirety of human language, no? And
yeah.
diba? And I keep saying this is somewhat analogous to music, where you have a finite scale of sounds, like in a piano, 88 keys, but the entirety of the musical industry is based on that scale, and you can continually create original work and evoke emotion with still just the same 88 keys, no? Parang ngayon we have a similar mechanism but for text, ngayon for images, ngayon for video. And somehow, eto yung punchline, let me know how you feel about this. Tinanong ko rin si Guido David dito eh. Na somehow, at least for someone like me, although I am not a mathematician, I'm an accountant, but whatever. I feel the implication is everything that we find, everything that we feel is original or human is actually just a recurring pattern pala. And then we just didn't find a mechanism to represent that pattern until now. And what's more disturbing, kasi parang if you look at it philosophically, parang it detracts from the humanity of it. Parang everything pala na yung pinagyayabang natin is just another sequence in the attention mechanism. Yun lang pala yun. That's one angle. The next angle would be, ano pa kaya? Kasi you're talking about low rank adaptation.
Yeah.
Then that means there are potentially infinite representations at a certain level. Baka na-capture na niya lahat ng iniisip nating something that we feel is completely human lang, no? Whatever. Even philosophical stuff like being human, having a soul, having emotions. Ang perspective ko dyan, parang ano lang yan, succeeding levels of fidelity as a data set. Mga at a low resolution data set, it looks robotic, still text. Pero at a high enough fidelity, it looks like literature, it looks like Shakespeare, it looks like prose. Pero it's still derived from the same patterns, no? Does that logically, kumbaga, or intuitively make sense as a mathematician? Does that make sense to you?
Good thing na nag-align yung that you mentioned that, kasi I forgot to mention pala kanina. One of the hats that I'm actually wearing is a PhD student, no? So I'm also finishing my PhD right now. And just to share siguro to align lang dun sa conversation natin about the surprising kumbaga, yun nga, we're talking about the attention mechanism, the transformer architecture, no? Na so you mentioned music ngayon. Merong mga papers kasi na I was really intrigued, no? A professor shared it with me na, 'di ba, ang success ng transformer nag-start yan sa NLP, natural language processing. And then surprisingly, meron din pala siyang you can apply yung concept ng transformer, yung attention mechanism. in other fields, like for example in virology,
Mhm.
nakikita rin yung parang like there was this paper, I forgot. Nauso yun kasi during that time yung sikat na sikat yung virology because of COVID, di ba? And then may mga lumabas na mga paper na ginagamit yung parang I forgot kung paano niya na pero ginamit yung power ng transformer like yung success niya dun sa language into in the concept of paano magre-react for example yung isang virus sa
Mhm.
sorry I can't start it's really hard for me to
Is it
to
related to viral sequences? Parang gano'n? Kasi
yeah
alam ko
something like that
oo.
yeah.
Kasi everything that a transformer basically crunches is essentially a sequence of something.
Yeah, that's
Symbolic
good.
sequences. Oo.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's the thing that I'm about to say kasi yung dissertation ko was born out of some parang mga review of related literature when I was parang training in the US na kasi in training ko is AI in additive manufacturing and material science. So na-interest ako ngayon sa material science. It's actually in the area of materials discovery.
Mhm.
So kasi may dissertation will be about parang yan nga, you're going to discover materials o yung mga different compounds or substances and usually 'di ba sa chemistry we represent a compound sa graphically no yung mga Lewis structure yung mga makikita mo yung mga benzene ring na yan but you can there's also one representation kasi na pwede siyang gawing sequence
Correct.
parang like isa no like ang tawag dun smiles o yung simplified molecular input line entry system. So, magiging sequence siya, pero isang unique sequence na yun, it represents a unique material. Now,
Wow.
you can apply the transformer, yung success ng transformer sa language. So,
To
for
discover.
example, sa English language, to discover new
Galing.
materials na
Ang
same
galing.
property.
Ang galing.
So, yun yung
Oo.
na-interest ako. Sabi ko, oh, this is a good research area. So,
Mm.
pwede mong i-convert yung mga different, kasi the chemical space is vast, no? Sobrang
Mm.
dami. So, you can actually parang you can discover new materials. Like for example, di ba sa English language, we have some valid grammar or valid syntax, di ba?
Mm. Mm.
Okay, kung makakapag-create ka ng valid na sequence doon sa chemical using smiles representation using transformer, perhaps you can say that this kunyari meron ka ng known material that having these physical properties, okay? And you wanted to discover new materials na may ganitong property rin, okay? Or new drugs, for example, no? It can also be used in drug discovery new drugs, for example, then you can use yung kunyari yung transformer, yung success nung transformer architecture in natural language processing to this field or to this
Yep.
domain.
Yeah. You know, ano nga I don't know if it's a mathematical principle or something else where you find a method that works in one domain and then you transfer it to another domain. Parang yung sinasabi mo about chemistry. I just suddenly looked up. There's a field called analytical chemistry. Tagal na. Pero
Uh-uh.
it attempts to fuse statistics and mathematics into the study of materials. And yeah, now you mentioned transformers pala can do that. Actually, we
Yes.
had a similar work back during the pandemic. Alam mo naman, COVID was all the rage. Pero at the same time nung pandemic, naging all the rage din yung yung fake news. Yung
Mm.
spreading of So now there's a term for it. No, nag-emerge ng time na yun called infodemic. Parang it's an epidemic of information. And talking about sequences, although hindi namin ginamit yung transformer back then. We were just using good old fashioned NLP. But the same method used to look at viral mutations, 'di ba yung mga protein, 'di ba yung
Yes,
CAG,
yes, yes.
parang ganun.
Mm.
Rather than protein, substitute words and phrases and
Yeah, actually,
'di ba?
yun yung parang gusto ko sabihin kanina about the
Mm.
virology research that I
Oo.
stumbled upon. Di ba? May sequence ka. Basically, sequence eh.
Yeah.
Doon naman magaling sa transformer sa sequential
So
data.
so had we, of course, 2017, pero that was during kailan namin linabas yung work na yon. We were working with Facebook eh. And we
I
said
see.
the same framework for viral mutation can be used for fake news mutation.
Fake news, yeah.
Oo. So not
Yeah.
only can you tag yung provenance, yung lineage, parang sa virus eh, alam mo yung
Uh-uh.
alpha, beta, gamma, di ba mga ganyan.
Uh-uh.
Based on the sequence, you can also start predicting future possible sequences. Pero yon, to be done pa yon. We would have actually started using transformers had we continued that. Pero yun doon kami natuwa na we know about one domain, you bring it to another domain, it works very
Yeah.
well. I think that's why multidisciplinary
And
conversations are important para nagko-cross-pollinate yung 'di ba, yung
I
concept.
totally agree. Yeah. That's the good thing about AI and data science kasi it cuts across different domains. So if you are successful in, for example, applying AI and data science in one domain, perhaps siguro to a certain extent, you should parang dapat you have a knowledge on another domain lang. For example, on how to apply it. Like for example, in weather forecasting, transformers are also being used to do
Didn't you have a
using
paper on something related to weather, parang lightning yata or something na prediction?
yeah, I
Okay.
have a but during that time it only uses LSTM. I
Mm.
wasn't able to use transformer pa during that time. So kasi before transformer naman LSTM naman kasi yung
LSTM, tsaka
sikat na
mga RNN, no, yung mga ganyan.
RNN, yeah, RNN
Oo.
pag mga sequential data. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, sige. I don't know if you want to start popping in a slide or two if you want to run through a piece of work. Kasi I think parang people need to see what you do para makita nila wow and I think now we're probably addressing the researcher audience, no, kasi I feel that parang ano pa rin although there's a lot of people doing AI, parang I think we need to times 100 the number of researchers para magkaroon ng breakthrough, no. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Sige, Doc Ligo, thank you for allowing me to share yung mga research work namin na ginagawa dito sa ASTI. No? Siguro I'll start with this. I have two projects to present pero I'll just be brief. Brief ano lang talaga. Let me see. Okay. So one project that I'm gonna present is called ASTI Alam or a labeling machine. This one naman kasi is uh, ASTI Alam or Alam stands for a labeling machine or ASTI labeling machine. It's a project funded by DOST and we have partners from Mindanao, no, may mga researchers din kind of working in Davao, no, with this. And eto, basically what we wanted here is to leverage on economies of scale because we all know that yung development kasi ng AI model is very costly, it's very expensive, it involves a lot of resources. Just showing you the uh AI Readiness Index na that was being published by Oxford Insights. Actually, 2023, bumagsak nga tayo. 2022, we ranked 54 sa AI Readiness Index. Now, I'm not sure bakit bumaba. Siguro nag-accelerate lang ibang mga kasabayan natin. No? But the thing is, dito sa AI readiness, parang minimeasure yata nila dito kung yung isang country is meron ng AI strategy or ano yung infra na na-develop na doon sa
Actually,
bansa na yan.
pinag-aralan ko yan I just haven't released my video about it.
Oh, nice.
We slipped because of human capital tsaka infrastructure.
Okay.
So
Actually,
parang yung throughput ng mga I guess AI skills medyo kulang, yun ang
I
assessment.
see.
And then sa infra, obviously with the internet and the lack of data centers, these are parang highlights of good AI readiness. Kasi even if you had the laborers or the researchers, saan sila gagawa? No? Wala ka namang infra. No? So, I mean, as a country, no? Kulang. Yun. But anyway, it's good you brought this up.
Yeah, nakalagay dito sa slides pero ano lang yan, intro lang yan because I wanted to I wanted to discuss the pretext of AI is expensive because it involves computing resources, math and engineering, human resources and time, and that's why our approach is basically yun nga, to leverage on economies of scale, no? In this project. So, kasi ilan lang, dito sa project na to, ilan lang yung AI researchers ko. But what we do is, ang strategy ko is we capacitate them, each of the AI researchers, we ask them to do research on AI or deep learning in computer vision, and each one of them is required to have one use case, I mean, No? It's required to have one use case, and then dapat meron sila maka-interface na stakeholder. So yun yung ganun yung approach na dito sa project nito. I have AI engineers or AI researchers. Okay, I give you this is your task, okay? Dapat meron kayong mga models na ma-develop. Kasi ito yung isa sa mga requirements o objectives ng project na to. May deep learning models about computer vision at dapat may isang use case. Mamaya papakita ko yung mga use case na napili nila. And then dapat makipag-interface kayo sa gagamit ito kasi para saan yung model na ginawa niya kung walang gagamit. So dapat may buy-in to ng mga stakeholders and beneficiaries. And then another one is that's why we promote like for example last year I've been traveling a lot from different places to different places in the Philippines, universities or mga LGUs, and then pinipitch namin tong idea na to if for example if they have challenges or pain points that we think AI can provide solution to, no, yun yung and then we co-develop or we collaborate with them. So we collaborate with academe, government industry, yon. So tapos we pulled government resources. Meron na kasi mga investment for high performance computing. May mga capacity building efforts na featured for AI. So yun, we take advantage of those initiatives. So, and the aim of this is parang ito fourfold, no? De-develop kami ng mga deep learning models and then we leverage on the existing data and compute infrastructure. Sa ASTI kasi, I'm sure you have already visited ASTI during the time of Dr. Marciano, no?
Yep.
Nung director pa si Dr. Marciano and you visited yung GRS namin, so maraming mga satellite images, di ba? So we leverage on those satellite images and then meron din kaming core, yung computing and archiving resource environment, may high performance computer. Also this project, we also invested, we also bought A100 mga GPUs, no, from NVIDIA A100 para magamit ng mga researchers.
This
and
is a
then,
shared resource you can if you're part of the center. Okay.
Yes, shared resource. And we also, we capacitate, ako, from time to time, I give them talks about deep learning, mga ganyan. And I encourage them to parang to keep top of the state of the art, di ba? Yung dun sa computer vision and deep learning. And then yun nga, we collaborate with government agencies kasi hindi namin kaya. So kung kunyari, kung may partner university kami, sometimes yung mga students doon, minsan pinapag-annotate namin ng mga datasets, pinapatrain namin ng mga models kasi kung kami lang. So yun yung approach nitong alam na to. And then ang ASTI alam. So aside from that, we're also developing this, I'm sure you're familiar with Hugging Face, diba? This is parang, we have a localized version of Hugging Face. So yung mga models na dine-develop ng mga AI researchers namin sa ASTI, they're going to be uploaded doon sa what we call Dimer. So yung online repository. So parang Hugging Face siya. So meron kang mga datasets doon, may mga labeled datasets, and then may mga deep learning models na we can open for everyone. And then sa other AI researchers can also contribute doon. So magkakaroon lang parang terms of usage ditong na to. Some models will be open publicly, but some models siguro may private. Depende rin kung sino may owner ng model na yon. And sometimes there can be a business model that can be that we can actually implement or we can parang somehow that can be born out of this this platform, no? Pwede tayong, let's say, pwede may subscribe siguro dun sa model. Actually, yung pinag-iisipan namin kung anong parang business model kasi maganda rin na maraming commercial din dito parang opportunities dito sa initiative na to. But of course, meron din syempre initially we wanted this for public good, no? So yun, ito yung Dimer, meron kang isang online repository tapos maraming mga different stakeholders na gagamit ng Dimer na yun. So andun yung labeled images, may mga knowledge base and wikis, APIs, model library, full of experts, those things. And this is for kunyari hobbyists, AI enthusiasts, mga collaborating agencies. So yun. So it's a repository of the country's big data and mga satellite images, labeled images, kung gusto nila mag-train. Meron na din mga available na model. So ano ba yung mga use cases na that our researchers are working on. Meron kaming use case for traffic monitoring. Ito yung mga object detection, yung mga vehicles. So this is one of the use cases. Meron din kami for landslide susceptibility mapping. Ito, 3D reconstruction. Ito, meron na kaming. So, bawat isa sa mga AI researchers, may mga kausap na silang mga stakeholder. Like for example, sa 3D reconstruction, we're trying to get in touch with National Museum para ma-reconstruct yung mga doon. Pero currently, we're in talks, or we're going to have a MOA with UPLB, Museum of Natural History. Dito naman sa landscape susceptibility mapping, ang kausap naman namin dito yung PBOX. And then dito sa isang LGU from Cebu City, yung traffic monitoring. And we also have other partners. So these are some of the use cases na basta ang requirement ko lang sa kanila, sa mga engineers ko, like dapat this is gumagamit ng AI and computer vision, and then ilalagay natin lahat yun sa Dimer. So that's the idea nitong
Nice.
nitong what you call this, Alam project. And then
So
the
Alam
next
is like more of a platform to invite more researchers to contribute.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Fantastic.
Pero yeah, from the get-go, nag-start na kami mag-develop ng mga models na ilalagay doon. Kumbaga may start na kami, but it will be open for everyone, and yun nga, na pwedeng mag-upload ng mga models, or you can use the models that we have.
Yep.
There's another one. Teka lang. Sorry.
Interesting yung 3D reconstruction. Is that a generative AI type application where it infers parang the structure of something, or more of existing traditional AI?
I think the technology that they use, it also uses deep learning, pero hindi, and I'm not sure if it's considered generative AI, but the technology that is being used, kasi ang traditional way of doing 3D reconstruction is using photogrammetry, okay?
Right.
Pero ngayon, if you're going to go the deep learning route, ang tawag doon sa technology is neural radiance field. So hindi ko pa rin siya, so one of my researchers actually tapos meron pang bago, yung Gaussian splatting na tinatawag. Pero yung neural radiance field, yun yung deep learning na approach. So minsan, we tried parang actually, nanghuli ako ng tutubi dito sa Batangas, and then I brought it sa office, tapos inano nila, tapos nireconstruct nila, ang galing nga
okay.
So meron mas maganda kung may LiDAR. So ang idea lang, pinipicturean lang different angle, tapos nagra-run sila ng model, and then mare-reconstruct na kagad. So may mga pictures ka lang ng mga 2D, tapos ewan ko kung paano ginagawa ni Jom. Si Jom
parang
yung
ini-infer niya yung 3 dimensions or more based on your flat image. That's nice. That's actually nice.
Yeah.
And that's a great way also of rin. Actually, ginagamit din yan sa architecture, sa computer-aided design, to flesh out a concept for, let's say, a building. Yeah, it's much faster than traditional CAD. Kasi medyo yung traditional CAD, mano-mano, mechanistic style. Ito, tingnan lang talaga niya yung image, then i-interpolate na niya automatically. Of course, may mga errors, but you can always correct it over time. Galing. Dapat ganyan yung urban planning natin. No? We have images of old Manila, then you can reconstruct it the way it should look like, no? Parang ganun.
Yeah. This one naman, kung kanina computer vision and satellite images, no, AI. Ito naman AI in natural language
NLP.
processing, NLP. So itanong, this is a natural language interface to databases for Filipinos. So, okay. Intro lang about ASTI, no. Basically, ASTI is under DOST. It's a research and development institute. So, ang talagang namin, baka kasi ang mandate talaga namin is to conduct scientific research and development, specifically in the advanced fields of ICT, microelectronics, and emerging technologies like AI, quantum computing. Actually, ito, papakita ko yung mga technologies na ginagawa sa ASTI. We have cloud computing, HPC, advanced research networks, information systems, and research data platforms. space technology, wireless systems, robotics, yan. Tapos dito naman ako sa part na to, sa division na to, which is yung AI, advanced systems development, quantum computing, and blockchain technology. So these are, ayan yung mga emerging technologies na. No? Pero usually nga ito, dito ako na-involved sa AI. And one of the projects under yung isip na trust is yung itanong. So basically, itong itanong, it's a interface to databases, di ba? Halimbawa, pag may most of the naman kasi is may mga relational databases, di ba? Most of the organization or companies may mga relational databases. But the idea is ang traditional way of interfacing with databases, mag-build ka ng ng information system. Maggagawa ka ng web app or ng desktop app to interface doon. So, kailangan mo pa ng mga programmers na marunong mag-SQL. So ito, ang itanong, we bridge parang we level the playing field. Like kahit mga non-techie na hindi marunong mag-SQL, pwede mag-interface sa database. Kasi, di ba, SQL is the language to interface with relational databases. Ngayon dito, parang Google siya, itatype mo lang yung question mo, you have to type a question in a language you're comfortable with, Tagalog, English, Taglish, na parang Google nga lang, no? Tapos, lalabas na yung sagot. Parang yung sagot na yun galing doon sa database. No? It comes from the database. So what's the difference between Google? Google accesses publicly available web pages. Whereas in itanong, medyo localized siya. Yung internal business intelligence nyo lang yung available. No? Pero hindi naman kasi magagawa ni Google yun kasi wala siyang access doon. So itanong, pag na-deploy to dun sa, let's say for example, sa tina-target naming agency, no? If they want to use itanong, we can, parang simple lang yung parang lang siya, may prompt lang, tapos magta-type ka lang, tapos magko-connect ka lang dun sa database. So, why itanong? Most business data is relational. Many applications are built on relational databases, and it allows non-technical end users to query information relevant to their functions in an organization. Saka ito madali lang, searching or retrieval, easier using language the user is comfortable with. So ngayon, ang available pa lang kaya pa lang ni itanong, based doon sa current na development namin, ay English, Tagalog, and Taglish. But later on, i-cater na rin namin yung other languages in the Philippines like Ilocano, Bisaya, yung mga ganon, Hiligaynon, those languages. So in doing this research kasi marami na rin kami na-collecta na corpus o na corpora dito sa about languages. Kasi paano ba namin ginawa si itanong? So basically nagbasa muna kami ng mga research paper how this is being done. Kaya lang eventually nag-won out pa rin yung power ng large language models. Kasi before may mga paano yung translation na mangyayari. Basically kasi ang technique dito is natural text to SQL. Parang translation lang siya. Paano ba ginagawa ni Google yung from English to Tagalog translation? So gumagamit ka ng mga NLP techniques, no? Pero ngayon kasi what we did a lot of literature review kung paano ginagawa. Maraming mga methodologies, but eventually nag-end up din kami kasi naggawa kami ng parang benchmarking or ng tinest namin yung result. This type of research kasi can be validated using two types of parang accuracy, no? Like yung execution accuracy at saka yung, I forgot the other one. But basically, i-compare mo lang yung, pag nagtanong ka, i-compare mo lang yung output doon sa expected output. Another benchmark or metric is yung resulting SQL, is it the same as the one that you're expecting? So parang ganun, parang exact string match accuracy at saka yung results accuracy. So those are the two benchmarks na ginagamit for this. And nung nag-try kami ng mga traditional methods for text to SQL conversion, mas mataas pa rin talaga yung capability ni GPT o ni ChatGPT. So kaya ang ginawa namin, nag-subscribe kami sa OpenAI. So under the hood, ang nagpa-process pa rin ito is GPT-3, GPT 3.5, GPT-4. So yun pa rin yung nagpa-process ng text to SQL translation. But basically, pag nag-type ka ng question, so may tatawag siya ng API dun sa OpenAI, and then ilalabas niya lang yung corresponding SQL, and then ibabata niya yung SQL statement na yun doon sa database, and then lalabas na yung sagot. So that's the basically how it works under the hood. Yan. So meron kang dito, parang gumagamit din kami ng ChatGPT. May natural language question ka dito, and then we leverage on the power of ChatGPT, tapos i-convert niya to SQLs, babalik.
So this becomes parang a feeder to parang a RAG implementation, di ba?
Yeah. Actually, good thing that you point that out. Kasi sa mga upcoming developments namin, we will not only be working with relational databases as a data source, we'll also be working with even unstructured documents like PDF files. So gagamit na kami ng RAG that time, ng retrieval augmented generation. So yun yung next step namin. Kasi ngayon, currently, mga relational databases. Pero meron na kaming POC. Kunyari, nag-upload kami ng PDF ng mga research papers, and then we type in a question, for example, who is the author of the research paper, blah, blah, blah. And then, ang galing. Tapos lumabas, what school is Elmer Peramo affiliated? Tapos lalabas nung De La Salle University. Oh, okay, ang galing. Nag-upload ka lang ng mga several documents. Kasi kaya naman namin nagawa yan, kasi when we were parang interfacing, or we were having a meeting with, nung pinipitch namin tong idea na to, most of the parang government agencies kasi, hindi pa ganun ka-structured yung mga data nila, nasa unstructured, mga PDF documents,
it's a
mga
mess.
ganon. Yun yung kaya mas prefer nila yung ganon. That's why we're going to do that na. Kasi pagkaiba, yung mga, siguro mga banks yan, maraming mga relational database. Pero kailangan din talaga sila yung mag-i-implement ng kasi parang interface lang ipoprovide namin, interface lang. Pero with regards to the security and privacy, it's really up to the database pa rin. Yung implementation, nandun pa rin sa So, basically, yung original methodology namin parang supervised learning lang. Meron ka lang listahan ng question and SQL pair. Marami. We collected a lot of those. Doon namin tinrain. Tapos, pero ngayon, useful pa rin naman yung dataset na yun to fine-tune yung GPT. Ayan. So this is the interface. Parang may login kami. Tapos yan, parang Google nga lang siya. Type yung question dito. And then, yan, may mga predefined question na rin. Mga ganyan. Kunyari, within internal to your organization. Aside from text pala, it can also output, for example, mga visualization. Like bar charts already. Kunyari, ilan ang empleyado ng ASTI, tapos o kaya ano yung mga sahod ng mga pwede siyang mag-create ng chart. So, yeah. Hindi ko na siguro pero ito yung target beneficiaries ng itanong, government, business, academia.
Pretty much everyone can
practically practically every organization na merong database, no?
I have a question related to this, no? Or partly.
Okay.
Kasi one of the challenges I think sa RAG right now is ironically dealing with structured data. Kasi 'di ba when if you feed the large language model kunyari a sequence of let's say numbers, you need a context kasi to tell it ano ba to, no? This is like our sales for the last 12 months, or expenses for the last 12 months. If that was not part of the data extracted, hindi mahuhulaan ng language model ano ba tong mga numero na to, 'di ba? Or so this could be in a way the solution. Parang it's like a semantic search but for databases, and then you can combine that later with RAG. Tatalino na nga, no? Parang ganun ang dating.
Yeah. Pero wala pa kami dun sa state na yun. Pero that's a good point that you mentioned. Actually, kasi nag-start pa lang kami kung paano namin sisimulan yung sa RAG at paano namin siya i-integrate dito sa current version na itanong, which only works for relational databases. Tapos,
kasi dito, nag-translate ka na from natural language to SQL.
Yes.
Kasi 'di ba sa RAG may ganung step where the query has to go into some sort of a repository. which is
Yeah.
maybe a vectorized
Vector
data.
database.
Oo.
Vector database. So that's why bibili din kami. Actually, magsasubscribe din kami sa Pinecone.
Oo.
Yun yung, or yung mga ganon na,
So,
yung mga vector
pero yung vector DB works very well pag yung mga unstructured nga, yung china-chunk mo yung text,
Yeah,
no? Pero yung pwedeng ang katabi nun is this. Kasi, kunyari, it's a numerical data set. So, ito na yung mechanism to extract that numerical data set and then sasabayan ng siguro nung
no?
kunyari an annual report of a company, no? Parang gano'n. Mahuhugot mo na yung time series ng information tapos yung commentary galing dun sa vector DB.
Yeah.
Oo. Di matalino na yung large language model pag pinadala mo na yun. Kasi parang
Combination
na-processing
na
mo
siya.
na.
Yeah, yeah, that's a
Interesting.
good point. So yun, ito yung mga other application areas. I'm sure, yeah, pwede siyang gamitin sa tourism, financial services, education, healthcare. Yung practically basta lahat ng may mga data. So the application is almost endless, no? Criminal justice and law enforcement. And hopefully sana maging successful to mga merong, kumbaga, actually we're already in talks nga na with other schools and organizations na gagamit itong itanong
I have a
system.
question. If we go back, sorry to on this, no? The model that does the SQL translation, did you have to fine tune that, or it's available na somewhere that you got from a paper, or did you have
Yeah,
to?
we have to fine tune it. We have
Ah,
to fine tune it pa. Pero
mm,
kasi yung iba-iba yung mga methodology na ginagamit before parang medyo mahirap din kasi very tricky. Kunyari, iba-iba rin yung way na pag-design ng database ng mga organization. Tapos,
that's right.
yung naming pa lang ng columns, yung
Mm.
naming ng mga fields, ganyan. So, kasama yun sa mga dadaanan. So, pag hindi intuitive yung pag-name ng mga columns o mga tables, so that will really affect the
Mabobokya siya, no? Pag
accuracy.
ganun.
Oo, kapag gano'n yun yung mga
So in that case, there's for it to become, let's say, a commercialized service, there needs to be a protocol to assess the data architecture of the database prior to implementing the kind of the yung semantic yung translation component. Or may
yeah.
ipe-prescribe na baka yung structure. Pwedeng ganun din eh. Pakilagay na lang dito kasi naintindihan na ng model namin assuming these are yung schema of the
Yeah,
database.
yun yung sasabihin ko sana, yung schema. Yung schema is one of the inputs doon sa model, ganun.
Wow,
So
okay.
basically, i-input mo yung schema ng database para at least maaral nila kung paano, and then, parang kasama siya sa prompt, no? Kunyari, pag nag-chat, kasama i-input mo kasama sa prompt, tapos yun, and then, pwede ka na magtanong or you can ask questions about the data in that database. So, that's the idea.
So
And
when you say feed the schema, is it like yung DDL nung actual table as in SQL format, or do you have to describe the tables? Paano yun? How does that
In
how do you
text
train that?
format din, in text format din siya. Yung
Okay.
So kahit kunyari kahit that SQL or basta there's a structure no na maintindihan niya na let's say for example it can be in JSON format or in that SQL format.
Okay.
So that's the idea.
No, that's great.
Okay.
This is great.
Actually, we have already published 3 research papers na related dito sa itanong. And
Nice.
ayun nga, ino-open din namin. Meron kaming i-open yung itanong DS. It's a collection of benchmark datasets for downstream and natural language processing tasks on select Philippine languages. And we're also collaborating with other like NLP or marami din mga initiatives sa pag-collecta ng mga different Philippine languages. Actually, the other day, I have a meeting with AI Singapore.
Hmm.
Meron silang project doon, kinokollect nila yung mga ASEAN languages and we wanted to take part doon sa kanilang initiative. So, pwede namin i-share itong benchmark dataset para mas Kasi the problem is, like kunyari, compared with ChatGPT, hindi siya ganun ka-attune sa mga nuances ng mga, let's say, mga ASEAN language pagka ka. Although ChatGPT can understand Tagalog, mas better pa rin kung mas marami yung na-fine-tune siya sa mas maraming Tagalog o mas maraming bahasa na language, gano'n.
That's
So
right.
that's the idea of yung actually yung pangalan nun is Sea Lion Project. It's under AI Singapore.
Mm.
So yun, that's it. Basically that's two of the projects that I'm currently working on now in ASTI.
No, that's really great. And as you noticed, we've come to the hour. Super bitin talaga ang 1 hour.
Yeah.
But
Thank you
maybe
very much for allowing me to share yung
no, that's
yung
great.
mga projects namin.
Feeling ko nga we immediately need a sequel very soon to kind of flesh out the thinking behind it. But
Medyo bitin ba?
oh, super bitin, but it's good that you were able to mention it. If we have links, no, like yung Hugging Face kanina, I'd like to put it on the description para people can see it.
Yeah.
But maybe the last few minutes, could you give basically a good set of parting thoughts? Kasi I'm sure there's a sub-segment of people watching who really want to get deep into AI research. Um, what would be your advice to them? Apart from inviting them to join ASTI, what can be their pathway, no, to get into itong mga ganitong types of research?
Okay, siguro what I can say about that is wag tayong papadala sa hype. We really need to, and then wag din tayong papadala sa fear.
Mm,
To overcome fear siguro in this kind of field, no, para you really need to understand yung at deeper level kung what this field is all about. And if
mm,
it's really your passion, then kasi maraming aspects nito if you can tapos tingnan mo kung based on your interest and on your siguro aptitude din, no, aling path doon, if you're more of a programmer pa, if you're more of a mathematician pa, if you're more of a domain expert, no, but
mm,
learn just enough AI tapos apply mo dun sa particular path na yon. And siguro ang isa sa mga very important ngayon is kailangan natin talagang lagyan ng ethics ito.
mm,
Kasi
mm.
this is science na lahat may good side, or this is technology may good side and bad side. Pero kailangan natin din talaga na na aralin yung kasi dati ako honestly parang doon lang ako sa part ng science, hindi ko pinapansin. Tapos na-realize ko na this is lalo na ngayon na anything can be, and sobrang dami ng possibilities up dito sa AI that can be used for nefarious purposes, no. So yun siguro kailangan din natin, you really have to take into consideration yung ethics na aspect of artificial intelligence, kahit na sa education, no, marami pang mga gray areas na so yun that siguro yun yung may bibigay kong advice na really need to understand the field, and then which based on your aptitude and your interest, piliin mo kung anong aspect siguro nung AI doon kung saan mo gustong i-pursue, and then we really have to think about the ethical components of the AI.
Okay. I guess that's a good place to end it as any. I want to thank Professor Elmer Peramo for sharing his fantastic set of work, and obviously people are going to be watching it with interest, and hopefully that inspires a lot of people to join the field kasi talagang kulang. I mean, at this rate we need to multiply mga katulad ninyo, Elmer, no, by 100-fold. Pero little by little, if we start spreading the word, more and more people will come together, no? So thank you very much for joining AI Conversations.
Thank you, Doc.